Hi, welcome back to MarkArted. Today we're going to do a winter scene with some blues and some pinks and just see what all we can do up here. So I've already got my canvas wet with the liquid white, and we're going to get our paints together real quick. So we're going to start Alizarin Crimson, one of my favorites, because I love red. Any shade of red, really, I really like. So we're going to take Alizarin Crimson. We can get the lid back on here. Phthalo Blue. Some black, Midnight Black. Or if you do the Master's Touch brand, it's Mars Black. And we're going to take some Titanium White. Since this is wintertime painting, we're going to need probably a bunch of Titanium White. Van Dyke Brown, maybe some burnt sienna, I don't know. We're going to need some red and some cad yellow. All right, so there's our colors. We got Alizarin Crimson, Phthalo Blue, Mars Black, Van Dyke Brown, burnt sienna red, permanent red, and yaller, cad yaller. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off, I'm going to take a little 1-inch brush, and I'm going to make a little bright spot up here in the sky. I'm going to take a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the cad yellow, red and cad yellow, and we're going to make a real pretty orange. Maybe mix in a little bit of crimson with it. Okay, and right up here we're going to make our light source. Right about like that. Don't have to be crazy. You know what, and if we want to, we could take a little bit of that yellow, a little bit more yellow. Right there in the center. And then you can take a little fingertip of white. And make your sun. Now, we're going to take a little bit of the crimson and mix right in with this white. Make a pink, real pretty pink, and we're going to start and we're going to go around this, our sun area. Okay, and then we want to take a little bit of the blue. I haven't washed my brush yet, mainly because if you mix the colors on your brush, you can get a lot of cool, really cool things happening on your brush. And we're going to mix this blue in with some of this crimson and white mixture and make a lavender color. Okay, so then we're going to come right up here. Whew, that's pretty. Okay. These little crisscross strokes are really easy to blend. Okay, so now we're going to take a little bit of the Midnight Black, and this is going to make like a gray color. And we're going to put it at the top up here. Black and blue, or blue and black, however you want to look at it. And the liquid white that's already on the canvas is also going to blend in with these to lighten the colors up. Okay, so now I'm going to wash my brush real quick. Odorless thinner. Don't use anything but because if you use regular thinner, you're going to be painting outside because it will kick you out of the house. Beat the devil out of it, just like old Bob used to. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to blend all this together. Now, make sure your brush is dry. So right down here, I got my paint thinner in a trash can with a little beater rack. And what I'm going to do is we're going to start from the outside edge and we're going to go out, okay? So I like to make little circles just to blend everything together because it leaves a little bit of a little room for little things to happen in the sky, clouds, all kinds of stuff. So any place that you want to keep a little bit of white to see like the sky coming through all the clouds, you can do that. And you can also go back and beat off any of the excess paint so you don't take your dirty brush back into the pretty areas. And I always like to kind of get the side or the edges of the painting as well. Okay. Okay. And then we can just take a clean brush and we're just going to take out our brush strokes. 2 hairs and some air. Okay. All right. I think that's a pretty interesting sky. Okay. And you can just blend this as much as you want. Because if you don't like it, you just keep blending and it'll just disappear. Okay. All right. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take our fan brush. I'm going to use this one. Get some black, some blue. And we'll just make some real stringy little clouds up here. And really all you're doing, I'm just going back and forth. Come right in front of the sun there, it's fine. And over here on this side, same thing. Have a couple down here. These are just some stringy clouds. And then we'll take our brush and we can just blend some of this out. Put one more in right here. Okay. That looks like a pretty sky, doesn't it? Okay. Now, we do need our mountain color. Too much. Okay, we're going to take our knife, palette knife, and we're going to take some of our mountain mixture color. And we're going to come right up here and drop in a little mountain. It's okay that you've already put in some sky because you're working from the back forward. So anything that you put, that you cover up, is just in the background. And whatever you want to stay showing will be in the foreground. You know what's funny about painting, and if any of you guys watching have tried painting, one thing true about what Bob Ross has always said is that I've never looked at trees or mountains or anything, streams, the way I look at them now. Like, I always pass a tree. There's a tree up the road from where I live, and I always think, I wonder how I could paint that. I wonder what I would do. You know, the trees in the autumn, especially with all the colors. I always try to figure out what I would do to paint them. Okay, so watch your angles when you're doing these mountains, because we have our light source right here. So that kind of shows you which way the light is going to hit. We don't care what's on the bottom down here. Okay. So now we're going to mix kind of a shadow color together. You want to kind of leave it marbled like this. Oh, there went my... Kind of want to leave it marbled to where you get all the different colors going on. At least it's easy to clean up in here. All right, so now we're going to take... So if our light's coming from right here, that means all this under here is going to be lit up. So we're going to have some shadow right here. This right here is going to be shadow. Depending on where your peak and stuff is. Okay. And then on this side, there's going to be some shadow. And you can do light first, you can do the shadow afterward. Mountains are still something that I'm trying to perfect, and sometimes it's hard. Okay, so on this side, this is going to be our shadow on this side. And you want this paint to break to make it look like, you know, rocks and crevices and all kinds of stuff. So, and then right here, maybe right underneath, we're going to have maybe a cliff that's not going to get any light, because you can imagine that this would be kind of vertical. This is the slope, and then as it gets closer to the middle, that's the vertical part of it. Okay. So now we're going to take our crimson and white. Well, it's probably too much. And this is going to be our light side, okay? So we'll have the snow coming down right here. It's going to be mixing with the, because this is our light side over here. Okay. And you can even make a little outgrowing right here, or I don't know what you call it. Right there. Okay, and then here's our other peak. Okay. And then we have this one here. Like that. So this back here is just way back in the background. Okay. And then you could take some of your shadow color and maybe put some little indications here and there of maybe there's a rock that sticks out that you can't see. Okay. So that's pretty much it for our mountain. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I've still got some white from my brush from earlier, and we're going to make a little misty area. Make sure to follow your angles. My arm's getting tired. There's always mist at the bottom of a mountain. Fog, all that dispersion of light. All right. Where's my hose down there? Okay, so now we can take that mountain mixture. Okay. And we can put some trees over here, and then these are very far off in the distance. And then you can take your just your 1-inch brush, and we can make another plane that comes down here. Pull straight up. And this looks like more trees in the background that just goes right in front of the mountain. So on this, so we've got a kind of a grove of trees up here. Take a little bit of the white paint and just pull straight up. Give you the indication of some trunks back there. Okay. Now over on this side, we can kind of do the same thing. I know it's probably hard to see what I'm doing. I can't do this with my right hand though, so just That's hard to do. Just putting in some dark color just so I can have something to put some highlights on. Now this area we can put a nice little evergreen in right here. Let's put one right here. Okay. Remember, a thick paint, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. Sometimes I get that backwards. So I dabbed it in just a bit of paint thinner. Well, this tree looks frozen already. Take our knife, little color there, and make us a trunk. Okay. And then we can put one on the other side too. Let's give him a friend. Put one right up here. Painting is relaxing, it's fulfilling, especially when people like your art. And you just never know what you can accomplish until you start painting. You never know what you can do. So I'm going to come back and put some highlights on those trees here in a few minutes. We'll take let's put a small one right back here. He's back there in the back. You know, you can even do this. You can take your, where's my little one? You can take a liner brush and you want to mix it with some paint thinner. And then you want it to be kind of like ink. So it's kind of runny, but you can take your liner brush, run it through some paint. And you want to spin it like this to make a rounded point on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. But right up here, we can make, if I can do it without, oh gosh. Little bird flying in the wind. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we're going to take some titanium white and we're going to make the middle part. So I've got my background, and I've got kind of the back part here. I'm going to take, and we're going to make some snow right over here. And then some snow over here. This is all about how you want your painting to look. You can do anything. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, I mean, no painting is ever the same. And as you paint, you start to see things. You may have an idea of when you start painting, what you kind of want. But as you paint, you start to see different things come out. Like as I'm painting this right now, I see a little path coming down through here. We're just going to finish blocking in this color. All right. Okay. So now that we've got that, I'm going to take some of my brown and my crimson. And there we go. I don't want it to be really brown, but I want it to have some brown in it. So what I've done is I've mixed a little bit of my burnt sienna with some crimson and this blue mixture I have down here. So it's kind of a brownish gray. And so right back here, so this is where our path starts. And remember, when we talk about perspective, maybe it just leads right back in there. The back of your path that's farthest away is going to be very, very small, and it's going to get wider as it comes closer to you. Perspective. Okay. Maybe it just runs and all I'm doing is I'm just going back and forth with my knife, just scrubbing this into the canvas. Maybe it just stops right here. Maybe we got an old guy that lives up here Okay, so there's our path. So we got to think about, I need some more white. I need to, while I'm thinking about it, I also need to put my highlights on this tree up here. Where's my... Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of the white, and we're going to take a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the crimson. The blue on one side, crimson on the other. Okay, so this side is going to be the blue. This side's going to be the crimson. This ain't working. Well, that didn't work. Let's try something different. That looks a little bit better. Wow, these trees look like crap. You know what happens then? We start over. Good thing about painting is that there's no mistakes. And I'll prove it to you. All you got to do is just start back a little higher. Where's my... There we go, that looks a little bit better. Now we can take our I still don't like it. We're gonna try one more time. We're gonna get it. We are gonna get it. Alright. Now, we're going to wash this brush out again. Bye, Grabbies. Okay. Okay. Now, we're going to start this again. Okay, now that looks like some trees. What the heck, we'll put one more in. The only way that you can ever get good at doing something like this is just to mess up and do over. Mess up, do over. That's the only way. Now we're gonna lay in our trunks. When you're painting at home, you have all the time in the world to just try and try again. That's all it is. Just try and try again. Never give up. Never surrender. Because if you give up, you'll never see your potential. And if you mess up, that just means there's room for improvement. And if you give up, well, like Bob used to say, he hopes anyone that paints is plagued with dissatisfaction. And I see that in a lot of my paintings where I feel like I could do better, or something happens and I just don't get it right. But I've kept it up for a while, and I'm really proud of myself and for continuing to go and just not give up. Okay, now we're going to try and highlight these properly now. You want to leave a little bit of the dark in there. That looks a little bit better. There we go. You have to have the dark to have the light, and you have to have the light to have the dark. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now down here, let me go back to finishing my little path here. Now it's okay, in my opinion, it's okay to have some of these colors get into some of your others on the canvas, because that just makes all kinds of little things happen that you may not have intended, but it looks like it's supposed to be there. Because like I said, whatever you don't like, you can always cover up. See, this looks like the snow is just barely melting here. And so we can take a little bit of our liquid white and see, it looks just like a, oh no, it's just cool. It's just neat. Okay. So if we have a little path over here, so this looks, I think what we need, I think I'm going to put a big tree over here, and I think I'm going to put a little cabin over here. Bob would say this looks like a nice place to have a cabin. And he'd be right. Okay, and then we're gonna have, this will be the side of the house over here. Okay. This guy ain't lived here in a while. Maybe he's out shopping, or maybe he's out hunting. We don't know. Maybe this is where he gets his deer meat processed or something. Little cabin out in the woods. He don't have to answer to nobody. Nobody knows he's out here. Government can't get to him. Living on the land. Must be nice. Yeah, must be nice. Okay. Gotta have him a door. There we go. Okay. Take the point of your knife and you can just scrape out the boards. Remember, it don't have to be perfect because guess what? He don't live here currently, or he hadn't lived here in a while, or something. Oh my gosh, I'm getting... Okay. Now we can take our boy, it looks like it's nice and windy up in that area. Maybe we can scratch out some windows for him. Maybe he's got a fire built in there and he's about to be back here shortly. You never know. Okay. One thing this house does have, though, is snow on the roof. I hope y'all enjoy my paintings. I hope I'm not too boring. I know that's one thing when I watch YouTube, I got to find somebody that's pretty entertaining. So I'm going to try to be that way as I paint. There we go. It don't look like too bad of a place to hang out. Maybe he's even got, oh, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. If it's cold out there, he's going to need a chimney. So maybe let's put him a chimney up here too. There we go. You gotta have a way to stay warm. And you know what? We could take a little filbert brush and a little bit of liquid white, and we can make a little bit of well, I said we could. There we go. A little bit of smoke coming out of the chimney. I'm not at Bob Ross's 30 minutes to finish the painting, I don't think. There we go. He's got him a fire built, so that means he is either there or he will be back shortly. And now let's take a flat brush here. And we're going to take all of our colors that we got over here. We want some more Van Dyke brown. And we're gonna have, it's winter time, we got the evergreens with snow on them. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our brush here and we're gonna make us a big dead tree right over here. Time for your bravery test. Remember what that Bob Ross said? Time for some bravery. Okay. And this tree, I've seen it. Well, there's multiple trees I've seen, but some of them have that, like another tree coming out. It's the same trunk. So this is just a little tree across the way from him. Trees are so fun to paint because they don't have to be perfect. There's no rhyme or reason to them. They're just there. So if you don't do it correctly, well, I mean, there's no correct way. They can have bumps and ridges and all kinds of stuff on them. And it really doesn't matter. All they have to do is really just be kind of gnarly, and now we need to take our liner brush here. Make us some branches. Okay. And you can make as many branches as you want on these trees. Doesn't have to be a lot, because you know there's all kinds of branches and twigs and sticks, and even the branches have branches. Just, it's your world. You do it like you want to. Maybe there's one sticking up down here. Oh, okay. Now we're going to take our, we've got to get some life on these. on this tree here. So I'm just going to make a light pink reddish color to give some, maybe the light's touching it right like this. And I'm just barely touching the tree, letting this paint break a little bit so it'll look like bark. You don't want it to be overwhelming, but you want that indication of light striking here and there, because the sun's still up. Maybe up top there'll be a little bit more yellow shining through. Here and there on the branches. I like highlighting the trees. I think it's fun just to see, because as soon as you touch it, it's like that light just hit it. Maybe light hits right through there. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, but we have to have the back side of it, so that's where we're going to take our pink, purple, lavender mixture. And we're going to do this on the back side of the tree. Because this tree is facing, this part is facing us, so it will not get any sun. And you can just barely touch the canvas. The canvas will take what it wants. You don't have to scrub it in there. You don't have to do anything crazy. The canvas will take the paint that it wants. One thing you can do is start from the edge of the tree. I know my arm's right in y'all's way. So you know where the edge is, and then you can go out from there. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to try and get some, we're going to do some bushes. Okay, so what I did was I pulled my brush toward me, and then I'm going to turn it upside down and use the bottom of the brush to make the bushes. And then we can just pull the bottom of the bush out, so it'll be just the shadows. And then over here as well, around the edge of the house, maybe back here in this back corner, be one. That's a nice little painting right there, I think. We'll take a little bit of our liquid white. Oh no, I don't like that. We want these bushes to have some actual snow on them. There we go. Okay. There we go. That is more like it. All right. Maybe back here we'll put a line of bushes. You just do all kinds of stuff. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I think we have a finished painting. Let me find my little liner brush here. Get us some permanent red. And we'll call this a finished painting. I hope you enjoyed this painting. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow it. I would love to be able to do this as just another way to make a little extra money. I mean, you guys know, a little hard nowadays. But it's just fun as well. It's fun to be able to do things that you enjoy to do. Without the hassle of hustle and bustle. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you really enjoyed this painting session. Remember, if MarkArted, so can you. So tune in next time. I hope you have a great day. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do.